Now, this could be some recency bias, I fully admit that, but I think Gen V Season 2 might have ended better than Peacemaker Season 2. Hi, I'm Jordan the Nerd of Gold, and yeah, earlier today I finished watching Gen V Season 2, and I realized that as I was sitting there at the end of it, I think I ended up feeling more satisfied by the ending of that than I was at the end of Season 2 of Peacemaker. Not to say that Season 2 of Peacemaker was bad by any means. I loved pretty much every episode of Season 2 of Peacemaker, but I will say that throughout the whole season, I mentioned it a couple times in my reviews, that I think the pacing was a little bit off on that front. The short runtimes didn't really bother me while I was watching it, but I did think that the way the story was flowing was a little odd because it was building up to this particular reveal that was shown as the Nazi Earth in episode 6, which is perfectly fine as far as the reveal goes. I'm okay with that, and I'm okay with the way the season ended too. I just think that we had some expectations, partially because of what James was doing in his PR run, which I don't think he fully intended us to believe the full hype on that front, because he did deliver some great emotional moments in that season, but I also think it caused the effect of thinking that something more was going to happen in that episode, and I also think that Season 2's finale for Peacemaker was, outside of its emotional moments with the 11th Street Gang, was just kind of an oddly paced episode as just a general piece of television. I still like it. I still enjoy that episode. But now that I've watched the ending of Season 2 of Gen V, I'm like, pacing-wise, I think overall they handled that better. The way they were building up the character relationships to an actual conflict that ended the season. Not to say that you need a conflict to end at the end of the finale of every episode. That isn't necessarily what you need in order to have a good season ending. You can have high emotional moments in the season great on a cliffhanger, like Peacemaker did, and like Gen V technically did. But like I said, I think overall I liked the pacing of the story in Gen V Season 2 compared to Peacemaker Season 2, the way they were building up to everything. I just think that was a win comparatively for that show versus Peacemaker. Now, I will say, I don't think Peacemaker or the first season of Gen V had another major season of superhero storytelling going on while they were coming out in their first seasons. I think they were pretty much isolated in that moment. I don't remember thinking, oh, Peacemaker compared to whatever Marvel show was coming out at the time. But these two shows happen to have their sophomore seasons after several years away, coming out at basically the same time and ending within a couple weeks of each other. So I can't help but think to compare these two season endings. And like I said, I think I may like the ending of Season 2 of Gen V more than I liked the ending of Peacemaker. Not to say that the highs in one were better than the other. I just think overall the pacing for the episodes in terms of how the story was drawn out was better in Gen V Season 2. So I think that's where the win comes for that feeling in me. Otherwise, both had emotionally satisfying endings, and I'm looking forward to seeing where this is going to go in the larger universe, because both are going to end up being resolved in other projects. For Gen V, it's going to be the final season of The Boys. Can't wait to see where Marie is going to go in that show. And I can't wait to see the next time we see Christopher Smith, which James is keeping the details on the next time we see John Cena pretty light at the moment, which I don't blame him. He's focused on Man of Tomorrow, and he said that Man of Tomorrow is going to be own thing. We're not going to worry about the salvation stuff that Lex was tied to in Peacemaker, which is fine. I'm okay with having a little bit of mystery about when we're getting there, but I do hope we get to see the resolution of what is going on with Chris in the 11th Street Gang sooner than later, because I also know we're getting the final season of The Boys sooner than later. So just in comparison to when we're going to see the resolutions of these stories and other projects, we know that The Boys is going to come out sooner than whatever Peacemaker related project is going to come out as of this moment. I hope I'm wrong and we do get like Checkmate next year. It's been secretly filming and we just don't know that. That'd be awesome, James. I really hope that's true. But yeah, I think overall the pacing was better in the second season of Gen V compared to the pacing in Season 2 of Peacemaker. Again, both excellent shows. Both had their first seasons, I think, relatively isolated from other superhero media. And again, it could be recency bias, but yeah, that's my thought on that.